Is a fluidized bed gasification. In this fluidized bed gasification is the advanced gasification of fixed bed classification. Here, the bed made of inert materials such as sand, ash, charcoals are used for initiating the heat, and the fuel is introduced inside this in order to burn the particular biomass material. And the when the temperature it reaches to the maximum level, the bed materials transfers the heat to the fuel and blows the reactive agent through the distributor plate and at a controlled rate. The fluidized bed gasifiers, there is no reaction zones in fixed dome gasifiers. We have seen that various types of zones, gasification zones, but here there is no any reaction zones. We have only plate in that first initially the air or oxygen or steam is entered here, and there is a distribution plate, and when it reaches to the maximum level, then the temperature causes this fluidized bed to produce the heat. That heat, by adding the fuel, that heat is converted into gas and it is circulated through this outlet, and remaining part will be obtained through this ash outlet, converted into ash, and it is obtained in the outlet. So the fuel particles are introduced at the bottom of the reactor, very quickly mixed with the bed material, and almost instantaneously heated up to the bed temperature. So after this treatment, the fuel is pyrolyzed very fast and resulting in a component mix with a relatively large amount of gaseous materials. So further gasification and torque conversion reactions occurs in the gas phase. Advantages and benefits of this fluid gas materials is nothing but we have various advantages, like the cost of the boiler is reduced, operation which is used for wood or waste materials converting into the gas materials, reduced cost of additional steaming capacity because we are using a sand. So whenever heat is produced in the sand, in the sense heat is passed through the sand, then the more heat will be doubled. So reduced dependency of the external fuel source for propane or natural gas and oil. Benefits are overall efficiency is very high, fuel flexibility, high reliability, low purchase and installation cost, flexible operation, and low emissions. Next, we are going to see yes, use of biomass gasifier biomass feed characteristics, cooling and cleaning gasifiers. First, use of biomass gasifier. So the output of the biomass gasifier is we have variety of thermal applications, like by using that biomass we can go for cooking, we can go for drying the materials or products, heating the water, generation of electricity with the help of steam can be obtained. Sometimes the biomass also used as a fuel for internal combustion engines in order to obtain the mechanical shaft power or electrical power. If it is used as a fuel in internal combustion engine, it has to be cleaned first properly by removing the other particulate material like a tar and all. So cleaning system consists of a cyclone, scrubber and filter. So if the engine is the spark engine, in the sense it can operate with the producer gas alone, in the sense then particular gas should be washed away from the other dust materials. So the gas is sucked from the gasifier and cleaner unit by engine suction along with the proportionate amount of air. Then compressed if it is the compression ignition engine system, in the sense it operates in dual mode. So engine sucks in a mixer that compressed and small amount of diesel is sprayed in order for the combustion. So combustion initiation with the diesel droplets and then spreads to the mixture of the gaseous fuel and air. So it is nothing but dual fuel. So we are using biomass as well as the diesel, that is producer gas as well as the diesel for this operation. This is nothing but dual fuel operation for the compression ignition system. And liquid fuels are also used when compared to the gaseous fuels. The producer gas are also used for this internal combustion engine process. One of the method of production of methanol from wood or straw is nothing but the grass, which the process involves the gasification of the plant, followed by the chemical synthesis. Another method is nothing but the food grains crops, for example, sugarcane, maize. We are doing some fermentation process in order to obtain the ethanol. Even if we take the blended with the petrol, the ethanol is a good alternate fuel for automotive engines. For example, in plants, algae are present in that. Types of bacteria is present in that. So photosynthetic process, the results of release of molecular oxygen and removal of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, which is used to produce the synthesized carbohydrates called oxygenic photosynthesis. By using that oxygenic photosynthesis also we can go with this the conversion for the liquid fuels. Other type of bacteria use light energy to create the organic components, but it does not produce any kind of oxygen. That is, we call it as anaxygenic photosynthesis. Oxygenic photosynthesis and anaxygenic photosynthesis. So photosynthesis, which will provide the energy, and reduced carbon is required for the other plants. So molecular oxygen is necessary for those things. Next one is a biomass feed characteristics. So the most of the gasifier manufacturers which is available in any biomass feed. Various biomass feed characteristics are, which will give the quality and classification. One is energy content and bulky density of the fuel. That means higher the energy content and bulky density of the fuel, the smaller gasifier volume is obtained in this thing. Then we have moisture content. It has to be eliminated properly, and determining that what kind of fuel, what kind of origin it is coming, and what kind of treatment has to be given for that, we have to decide that. It is desirable to use the fuel with low moisture content in order to minimize the heat loss due to the evaporations. And we have to go with the heat budget, high moisture content, and cooling effect, filtering equipment, which are also increase the cost of the production also. We have to reduce the moisture content of the fuel in order to provide the very good fuel. Sometimes the dust content will also be there, so which will produce the undesirable dust content that can clog the internal combustion engines. That means starting trouble, or it may be seize the engine. That should be avoided. So we have to filter it properly from the producer gas. And the tar content is there. So tar is the most unpleasantable constituents of the gas. It can tends to deposit in the carburetor intake valves, causing the sticking troublesome operation also. It is a product of highly irreversible process taking the pyrolysis zone, that is a black color one liquefied form of thing will be stopped in the carburetor. While you are removing the carburetor, you can see that. So this will affect the carburetor. So that has to be properly cleanified, this thing. That gas has to be cleanified, this one. If we are using liquid, there we are getting this one. Even in gas also it can come. So we have to remove or burning the tar in gasifier properly. The research work is going on for this, for the process. Ash and slacking characteristics. That means the mineral content in the fuel that remains in oxidized form after the combustion. So it may be the final product of this combustion is nothing but we are getting ash. Ash content of the fuel and the ash composition is the impact of the trouble-free operation of the gasifier. So basically that gasification process has two ways. It fuses together to form slag, and clinker stops the downward flow of biomass feed. Even if does not fuse together, it shelters the point in a fuel where ignition is initiated and that lowers the fuel reaction. So ashes and tar removal is the most important process in the gasification system for smooth running. So slagging can be overcome by two types of operation. One is when it is operated with the low temperature, the ash will be removed. If it is a high temperature, then the melting point of the ash will be kept in the softer position. So for low temperature, in the sense steam or water will be injected, and for the high temperature, in the sense the molten slag or oxidation zone will be introduced in order to remove those things. So keeping in the mind that these characteristics of the fuel, that is only two fuels have been tested and proven to be reliable. One is charcoal, another one is a wood. So charcoal is a tar free, relatively low ash content property, and the one more is wood is also a nearly which will produce the ashes with the 50% of original energy is lost in that wood. Biomass feed or fuels are used. So sugar cane, corn, wheat, sugar beet, sweet corn, cashew, these are all produces the bioethanol. Rapeseed, sunflower seed, soya bean seed, peanuts, coconut, palm oil, these are all used for the biodiesel production. Cellulose materials like grassy crops, woody plants, byproducts of forestry materials, agriculture sectors, stems, municipal waste are coming for the generation of feedstocks, cellulose material. Waste and residues constitute the largest source of biomass. These includes the solid and liquid municipal waste like manure, animal manure, human being manure, pulp mill waste, agriculture waste are used for this biomass production. So low water content is burned to generate the heat and electricity. Wood waste in the paper or pulp industry from the sugarcane industry are used for the ethanol fermentation process, and variety of raw materials including the agriculture waste and municipal solid waste and market garbage waste, water from the food and fermentation industries are used for the methane production. Applications of the gasifier. So it is used for the motive power, that is automotive power, in order to produce the gas to provide the shaft power to industrial and agriculture equipment for the machineries such as diesel engine operation on dual mode. That means diesel will be added along with the biomass product gases, water pumps, tractors, harvesters running for high efficiency Stirling engines, there and all we can use it. Direct heat applications such as drying the agriculture crops, food products like cardamom, ginger, rubber, and tea at low temperature of 85 to 125 degrees Celsius. You can go for the drying applications. Baking of tiles, potteries in the modern temperature of 800 degrees to 900 degrees Celsius. Melting the metals, alloys at the temperature of 1000 degrees Celsius. And the fourth point is nothing but boiler fuels, which will provide the steam or hot water process industries like silk reeling, dyeing, turmeric boiling, cooking, and jaggery making. For that and all we are using this one. And we are using for the electrical power generation, that is from few kilowatts to hundreds of kilowatts will be obtained by using the gasifier product. Small scale electrical generation also possible in this this biomass or product gasifier process. Chemical productions like methanol, ethanol can be produced by using this one. So cooling and cleaning of gases. This is nothing but biomass method, gasifier method, where the biomass is converted into gas. That gas is will be filtered because some moisture content will be there, that has to be filtered with the first step. Second kind of filters are used for that, again washing the water or cleaning the water or drying the thing. Then it will be given to the cooler. Then it will be given to the engine for the combustion and the chimney for the remaining smokes for that those things. So this is cooling and cleaning of the gas materials. So efficient and effective use of this should be, because the biomass or the product gas which has some dust materials, as well as we have a tar materials, and we have some moisture content also, that should be cleaned and cooled for the operation of the combustion engines. So the failure or the success of the producer gas is depends upon only the ability how we are providing the cleaning and cooling the gas engine for the burning purpose. So the temperature of the gas coming out from the generator, okay, it may be 300 to 500 degrees Celsius. The density of the gas is increased by cooling to the maximum level. Most coolers are gas to air heat exchangers, where the cooling is done by free convection of the air inside the surface of the heat exchanger. Heat exchanger is providing the partial scrubbing gas for the removal of the moisture and tar content. This scrubbers, even scrubbers is also called as coolers. So there are three types of filters are used for cleaning the gas materials. One is cyclone filter, web scrubber, and cloth filters. Cyclone filters, this is cyclone filter. The gas is obtained from this biomass, that is product gas. So they are designed to according to the rate of gas production, which has some dust content. The dust contents are eliminated by passing the cyclone filters. Then it is given to the wet scrubber. The gas still contains some kind of dust, the particles and tars, that can be cleaned by passing the wet scrubber, where the gas is washed away by the water. And the scrubber is also used as a cooler. Then the remaining gas will be given to the cloth filter. So cloth filter, what it will do in the sense, again any condensation of water is there, in the sense it will be stopped and increase the pressure drop, and the pure gasification is passed into this engine. Okay, so this is the various types of filters which is used in this process.